In this segment, we're going to be addressing a very significant issue, which is the issue of the new anti-Semitism. Friends, throughout history, the Jewish people have suffered untold heartache, trouble, persecution because of anti-Semitism. Because of the diaspora, Jews were scattered all over the world, and they had no protection of their own. They were vulnerable. They were unfortunately like sitting ducks, just waiting for the moment that a crowd, a mob would rise up and burn their homes and rape their women and kill their men. Anti-Semitism is an ugly evil. It is actually spurned and fueled by Satan himself, because Satan desires to destroy the very apple of God's eye. You see, God chose the Jewish people to be a light to the Gentiles. And therefore, in wanting to destroy the Jewish people, obviously Satan has tried to even wipe out the Jewish Messiah, Yeshua. Friends, anti-Semitism, sad to say, is still rampant today. And in fact, in different parts of the world, it is on the increase. But today in our 21st century society and culture in North America particularly, the new anti-Semitism is actually anti-Zionism. There is a Jewish state today where Jewish people from all over the world can come and call their home. Those that would rise up to criticize, rise up to see the Jewish state delegitimized and the Jewish government demonized are the very people that are actually allowing a demonic spirit to influence them, and they're very active and passionate about wanting to destroy the Jewish state. It is the collective Jew, no longer the individual Jew, that is being targeted. Anti-Semitism is actually an affront to God, and the new anti-Semitism, which once again I repeat, is anti-Zionism or anti the Jewish state, is actually an affront to God's promise to Abraham. I read in Genesis chapter 12, when God called Abraham out of the Ur of the Chaldees, he said to him in verse 1, "Get out of your country, from your family, from your father's house, to a land that I will show you, and I will make you a great nation. I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." As Abraham with his family continued on his journey to the land that God had promised him, after the slaughter of the kings, when he rescued his nephew Lot, the Bible says that he gave a tithe to Melchizedek, the high priest who came. And then from that point on, he was blessed by Melchizedek, and then he had a second encounter with the God of the universe. And in chapter 15, Abraham makes an altar, and he brings a sacrifice, and he comes into covenant with God himself. And I'm just going to read that portion to you. In chapter 15, verse 12, "Now when the sun was going down," it says, "a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and behold, a horror and a great darkness fell upon him." This was after he had cut these sacrifices in two. "And then he said to Abram," God speaking, "Know certainly that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them for 400 years. Now at this point in time, God was revealing to Abraham that the day would come when his descendants would actually be for 400 years in the land of Egypt. And as we know the story, very simply, they were then forced into slavery after many years and after the death of Joseph at that time. Verse 14, "And also the nation whom they serve I will judge. Afterward they shall come out with great possessions. Now as for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace, and you shall be buried at a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall return here, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. And it came to pass, when the sun went down, and it was dark, that behold, there appeared a smoking oven and a burning torch that passed between those pieces. On the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, to your descendants, I have given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river Euphrates, the Kenites, the Kenizzites, the Cadmonites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, and the Rephaim, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. Wow, quite interesting, all the names of these nations that at that time were possessing this land, but had then been dispossessed because of the wickedness of their cultures and of their societies. God made it very clear to Abraham that the land belonged to his descendants. So today, fast tracking, today in the 21st century, the Jewish state of Israel is a modern day miracle. No one can contest that fact. The new anti-Semitism is anti-Zionism or anti-Israel. I would encourage you to do your best to be a voice to support a strong advocacy for the state of Israel. And when you hear individuals that speak against the Jewish state of Israel, or those that would seek to find justification to see her destroyed, that you would not sit on the sidelines and say nothing, or find yourself buying into a political correctness, but that you would speak the truth and declare that God's promise to Abraham and to his descendants was the land, and the land belongs to the Jewish people. In fact, I would say to you, as I bring this to a close, the miracle of the Jewish state of Israel actually is a confirmation that God always keeps his promise. So therefore, in closing, if he kept his promise with the Jewish people, will he not also keep his promise to you as Gentile believers? Therefore, do not take for granted the Jewish state of Israel. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and you will be blessed, because the Bible says, even as we read, when God spoke to Abram, those that bless you will be blessed, and those that curse you will be cursed. May God bless you.
Please share this video, and on YouTube, click the button below to become a subscriber.